In the world of glitz and glamour, where every moment is captured and scrutinized, life can change in the blink of an eye. For Khloe Kardashian, a beloved figure known for her resilience, charm, and entrepreneurial spirit, life took a shocking turn recently. News broke that her lawyer had expressed grave concerns about the legal situation surrounding her, suggesting that she could potentially face a lifetime in prison due to serious crime counts linked to a high-profile figure, Diddy. The situation began unfolding quietly, as it often does in the realm of celebrity news. Khloe, who has always been open about her life's ups and downs, had been involved in a business venture that connected her with Diddy, the iconic music mogul. Initially, the collaboration was seen as a powerful move for her brand, enhancing her influence in the fashion and beauty industry. However, things took a dark turn when allegations emerged regarding the legality of certain dealings tied to this partnership. Reports surfaced about shady business practices, and it became clear that the situation was more complicated than anyone had anticipated. Khloe, who has always prided herself on her integrity and hard work, found herself at the center of a storm she never saw coming. The allegations were serious, and the stakes were high. As the legal proceedings began to unfold, Khloe felt the weight of the world on her shoulders. On a particularly tense day, Khloe met with her legal team to discuss the latest developments in her case. The atmosphere in the conference room was thick with uncertainty. Her lawyer, a seasoned professional known for handling high-profile cases, looked grave as he laid out the potential outcomes. As he spoke, Khloe's heart raced. She had faced challenges before, but nothing compared to the fear of losing her freedom. The lawyer explained that if the evidence against her was strong, she could be facing multiple charges that could lead to lengthy prison sentences, potentially even life in prison. Khloe was devastated. The thought of spending her life behind bars was beyond comprehension. She had worked so hard to build her brand, to be a positive influence, and to support her family. The idea of losing everything was overwhelming. Tears filled her eyes as she listened to her lawyer. "I can't go to prison. I can't leave my kids. I can't leave my family," she whispered, feeling the panic rise within her. In the days that followed, Khloe found it difficult to focus on anything other than her legal troubles. She spent countless hours researching the law, trying to understand what was at stake. The media frenzy surrounding the case didn't help either. News outlets jumped at the opportunity to cover the story, often sensationalizing the details and painting a picture of a woman on the brink of disaster. Khloe, who had always been a strong presence in her family, now felt vulnerable and scared. Her sisters, especially Kim and Kourtney, rallied around her during this dark time. They understood the pressure Khloe was under, and they were determined to support her in any way possible. Late-night phone calls, text messages filled with encouragement, and even surprise visits became a lifeline for Khloe. Their love reminded her that she wasn't alone in this fight. Family had always been her anchor, and once again, they proved to be her greatest strength. As the case progressed, Khloe's legal team worked tirelessly to build a defense. They gathered evidence, interviewed witnesses, and sought out experts in the field. Khloe herself began to take an active role, determined to clear her name. She knew she had to fight, not just for herself, but for her children and the legacy she wanted to leave behind. The more she learned about the legal system, the more empowered she felt. She realized that she had to take control of her narrative. Meanwhile, the public's reaction to the situation was mixed. Some fans stood by Khloe, expressing their unwavering support through social media. "We believe in you, Khloe," they would write, filling her feeds with messages of love. Others, however, were quick to judge, eager to take sides in a story that was still unfolding. Khloe tried to avoid reading negative comments, but it was impossible to escape the noise. The pressure of public opinion weighed heavily on her, adding another layer of stress to an already difficult situation. In the midst of this turmoil, Khloe sought solace in her children. True and the baby, who was still so young, became her refuge. Every moment spent with them reminded her of what was truly important. She cherished their laughter, their hugs, and their innocent views of the world. They were her motivation to keep fighting. Khloe often found herself whispering to them, "Mommy is going to be okay. I promise." As the trial date approached, the tension in Khloe's life reached a boiling point. The media coverage intensified, and every move she made was scrutinized. She could feel the pressure building, and the thought of standing in front of a judge and jury filled her with dread. Yet, she knew she had to face it head-on. With the support of her family and her legal team, she prepared herself for the fight of her life. On the day of the trial, Khloe arrived at the courthouse with her heart pounding. The air was thick with tension as she walked through the halls, flanked by her sisters and lawyers. She felt a mixture of fear and determination. As she took her seat in the courtroom, she glanced around at the faces watching her, some filled with empathy, others with judgment. The judge entered, and the proceedings began. Throughout the trial, Khloe listened intently as evidence was presented. She was surprised to see how many people were willing to speak on her behalf, sharing stories of her kindness, her work ethic, and the positive impact she had made in their lives. It was a reminder that, despite the allegations against her, she had built a life filled with love and support. The jury listened closely, and Khloe held on to hope as her team presented their defense. As the days turned into weeks, the emotional toll of the trial began to weigh heavily on Khloe. There were moments when she felt like giving up, but the thought of her children kept her going. She often thought about the life she wanted to create for them, a life filled with love and security. Her family's unwavering support continued to be her lifeline, reminding her that she was not defined by her struggles, but by her resilience. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the day of the verdict arrived. Khloe sat in the courtroom, her heart racing. She felt the eyes of the world on her, and the fear of the unknown gripped her. As the judge entered and the verdict was read, time seemed to slow. Not guilty. The words echoed in her mind, and for a moment, she couldn't process what she had just heard. Relief washed over her as she realized she was free. The courtroom erupted in a mix of reactions, but all Khloe could focus on was the overwhelming sense of gratitude. Tears streamed down her face as she embraced her sisters, who had stood by her side through the darkest days. They had fought for her, and now they celebrated her freedom. Khloe knew that this was not just a victory for her, but for everyone who believed in her. Khloe Kardashian has always been a figure of fascination in the world of celebrity. With her striking looks, vibrant personality, and a life lived in the public eye, she has captured the hearts of millions. However, recent developments have transformed her from a beloved reality star into a headline-making story that has left fans and critics alike reeling. The news that Khloe has been arrested after investigations have revealed 23 criminal charges against her, all linked to her association with music mogul Diddy, has sent shockwaves